would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, thank everyone for coming. First order of business is the election results. Do I have a motion to accept the results?
So moved.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Now I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Move to adjourn.
Motion's been made to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
So carried. And I'll do oath of administrator to the newly elected official.
Jim and Derek? Want to stand that way and kind of face the room? All right. Gentlemen, if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Jim Sherman,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution,
I will support the Constitution,
the laws of the United States,
the laws of the United States,
the state of Missouri,
the state of Missouri,
and the ordinances of the city of Herman.
and the ordinances of the city of Herman,
And I will faithfully demean myself
and will faithfully demean myself
and perform all the duties
and perform all the duties
of the office
of the office
for which I have been elected.
for which I have been elected.
And I possess all qualifications
Possess all qualifications
prescribed for said office,
prescribed at the office.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you may take your seat.
Next, I have a proclamation for Rick, come on, Senator. We have a proclamation for appreciation for you being our alderman. Right? Okay. In case I say something wrong here. Whereas Rick Ousley was diligently served as alderman for the first ward of the city of Herman during the period of June 2nd, 2020 through April 12th, 2021. And whereas Rick has given himself and his time to the city of Herman during his term of office to an extent well in excess usual call of duty. And whereas the mayor and the board of aldermen of the city of Herman, Missouri desire to and hereby does express an appreciation of such board and citizens of said city to Rick for his term in public service. Now therefore it is hereby proclaimed by mayor of the city of Herman on behalf of the board of aldermen and other officials and citizens of the city of Herman that a public expression of appreciation shall be and hereby is given this day to Rick. Be it further proclaimed that the original of this proclamation be presented to Rick in recognition of his esteem in which he is held. In testimony whereof I have hereon to set my hand and cause to effect the seal of the city of Herman, Missouri, this 12th day, April 2021.
Thanks. Good job.
Okay.
Thanks for
All right, we'll move on. Mayor's report. First of all, I want to congratulate Derek Leroy for winning Ward 1, Jim Sherman for winning Ward 2 Alderman seat. Also, a big thank you to the citizens for supporting and passing the electric transfer that was on the ballot. You know, before I've said about the businesses in Herman and expansion and so forth, so I want to congratulate the Vine Boutique for their expansion to their new location on East 4th Street, next to the Wings. And also we want to welcome a new bed and breakfast, the Old Vine, also on East 4th Street. This is a true bed and breakfast, it's not a guest house, so we're glad we have 2 new citizens in town. The lease that has been signed by Dollar Tree for over half of the Pomida building They should open probably in August. The city of Herman has been recognized as a tree city by the Arbor Day Foundation. Also, this week is National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. So I want to say a big thank you to our dispatchers for the city of the Herman. They're not seen very often, but they're a very important part of our emergency services. When you call, they're there to help you get through your situation. Also, I just, right before I came to the meeting, I noticed that Wednesday, April 14th, Calabite is going to have an informational thing at 3:30 to 6:30 at the Riverfront Pavilion. If you're looking for high-speed internet or have any questions for them, they will be there. Okay, moving on, that's all the notices. As everybody knows, this past couple of weeks has been difficult for many of us. For those that are not aware of what I'm talking about, Alderman Ferber had posted and shared something on his personal Facebook page, which some people read it as being racist. Alderman Ferber did the right thing and removed the post, made a public apology on his page. I know he has regretted the situation that this has created. This might not have been an issue if a certain person in our community would not have called a radio personality to report it. I had several people and business owners contact me, telling me that Alderman Ferber had to resign. But I also had a greater number of Herman citizens contact me, supporting and accepting Alderman Ferber's apology. Everything had pretty well calmed down with the negative contacts. There was none on any city communication, and we were hoping that after Easter, most of this would be forgotten. But again, a certain person sent out some nasty letters to a select crowd of ladies in our community, which really upset a lot of people. It was very uncalled for. I will state that I and the city of Herman do not approve of Alderman Ferber's personal post that was not done on the city means of communication. You know, on a personal note, there is a thing in the United States known as freedom of speech. Sorry today to say that in today's society, our freedom of speech is being taken away from us. I do not believe us sitting at this desk should ask Alderman Ferber to resign. I think that the voters of Ward 2 that elected Alderman Ferber should have the voice on whether Alderman Ferber should remain an alderman at the next election if he decides to run for office again. I know my comments will probably upset several people, but I speak how I feel and I say what I think is right. You know, Herman is a great community. We're very fortunate. We have so many more important things to be spending our time on. I would hope that we can put this in the past and move forward. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, may I?
Do what?
May I? Speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
In myself, the good Lord created a rather imperfect creature. I have never pretended to be perfect. When I walk, I'll stumble. When I stumble, sometimes I fall. When I fall, I get back up. When I speak, sometimes I say things that are wrong. I don't intend to, but if I say something wrong, I'll apologize for it. Sometimes I make a lot of decisions in this room. Sometimes I've made the wrong ones. And if I make a wrong decision, I attempt to correct it. A couple weeks ago, I reposted something on Facebook, that's still on Facebook, by the way, that upset some people and may have given the impression that I'm somehow racist. On Thursday, I'll be 62 years old. Never in my life have I ever been accused of being racist. I have no hate, no malice in my heart for anyone because of the color of their skin or for any other reason for that matter. That's not the way I was raised. It's not what I believe. I apologized on Facebook and I'll apologize again here. I'm truly sorry for anyone I upset. I'm sorry for anyone that I made mad. I will give you my heartfelt and very sincere apology. I'm sorry, and I hope whoever I offended can find it in their hearts to forgive me. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to city administrator report, please.
Yes, sir, I'm going to keep it short tonight, we got a busy agenda. I'm preparing for the gas commission meeting and the utility advisory board meeting next week. Still working on FEMA projects related to the last flood, and I've got lots of loose ends to wrap up before I can retire. That's my report.
Okay, we're gonna move on to public comments. Number one, Mike Stallone.
So Mike you're actually on the agenda itself. So
You want to speak on that?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Just going through my slips. Okay. Diane Danhauser, I think. Dan Newton?
Dan, is there?
Sorry, couldn't, it's light on you. Yes, ma'am. You want to step forward?
Mark, am I grab it for me?
Oh, sure.
I had prepared notes. A lot's changed in the 3 weeks since we had a last meeting. So I'm speaking from my heart. Free speech, things like that. I'm very disappointed, not just with Mr. Fair, but with all of you. You all know probably why I'm here. I've had an ongoing fight with my next door neighbor on my shop down in town because of the smoker. I have talked to each and every one of you and gotten nothing in return, nothing. I fought a long, hard battle. I finally called the EPA. It's government, more than local. And they have a lot of information on their websites. Anybody can look up. The interesting thing says, you know, there's no smoking. I can't light a cigarette in here, which I used to do, but I don't anymore, out of my health and respect for people around me. But the EPA will tell you the amount of smoke from wood versus the amount of smoke from tobacco. Wood is 12 times more carcinogenic than tobacco smoke. Stays in your body 40 times longer and can do damage within 5 minutes. Now we're going to say happy birthday to Mr. Fairber. I'm going to be 73. I have a puffer in my purse. And every time my front door of my building is opened, that smoke gets sucked in there. And it not only damages my product, it damages my health. And not just mine, but everybody in the community. Because it's EPA guidelines. And absolutely nothing, no one in this room bothered to look up anything. They just issue permits, and I'm supposed to put up with it. Well, I hope you listen to the EPA guidelines and you ban the wood smokers, not just next door to me, but the 5 from the lady a couple of weeks ago was complaining her neighbor likes to light. If we're going to ban cigarettes, let's ban wood smoke as well.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you for your time.
Okay. Kevin, Sandra?
I'm gonna try to be a little nicer. I just want everybody to get along. And no hate in the room. I had somebody, I'll tell a quick story. Somebody texted me the other day and said my van didn't have its right license plate. For the life of me, I didn't know that. It's a new van, you don't have to get them inspected every year, but you gotta go get a license. I thank them for that. I thought it was a little nosy at first, but you know something, I thought about it on my own, and it wasn't nosy. It's the right thing to do, so. Before, Kevin would have probably got up here and been a little mad, but I'm not. All about that, I tell you what, I'm really anxious to talk about is the Welcome Center. You know, I haul a few people around Herman, people are coming to visit, and we don't have a Welcome Center. We don't have one operating with the fine ladies that we had before. And I know about a year ago, we voted on a tax increase for the bed and breakfast, 2%. I don't know where all that money's going, but I think the city, they're collecting taxes to pay for our new roads. Am I right? Okay. These ladies are helping people do the shopping, where to shop, where to eat. They're not telling them to get on a trolley by no means, or go drink wine even. These ladies are directing these ladies out the ladies that were working at the Welcome Center were directing people to go downtown and walk and mention to everybody's business down there. We don't have that anymore. I shouldn't be in here griping about it. The businesses downtown that are stationary should be. I would like you guys to work, Derek, Susan, Jim, Dave. Let's get a Welcome Center and let's put it back where it was at. That's the safest place to do it. I've told Bruce he could have that parking spot up there by Frank Van Camp's for big buses. It's a beautiful building. It's $1 million building. We need to take advantage of it. We're a historic town. A town, by the way, tourism is made beautiful. So I think we need to help it with a Welcome Center. And I'd like some feedback on this pretty quick because we are getting a lot of people saying, why don't we have a Welcome Center? Well, I could tell them maybe, but I might not know myself. So I just tell them that we're going to get one up and running. And I hope you guys will make a decision and give them money from the chamber all the way through to the city because we're all benefiting from it. Let's get this thing up and running again, quick. Please? Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Okay, we'll move to ordinances.
The first bill on for second reading is Bill number 2021-10, which would be an ordinance to amend Herman Municipal Code Section 410.100 to require payment of a fee for a sign permit. And so a couple meetings ago, we had discussed sign permits and cleaned that section up a bit. But this is one thing that we did not do at that time that we discussed and are following up with.
Now, this removes the fee for the sandwich signs, correct?
Yes, it does not, that's correct.
Okay.
It moves the fee over into the sign ordinance, where it's no more here.
Okay, any other questions? Do we have a motion to approve?
I move Bill 2021-10, second read.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
Next on for second reading, Bill number 2021-11, an ordinance authorizing reclassification of designated land and amendment of the city's zoning district map.
Everybody had a chance to review that? Any questions?
This was the property of Jennifer Davies,
Property what? Yes.
Hoover Nopton.
Hoover knocking the, behind it there, yes. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
Next is Bill number 2021-13 for first reading, an ordinance to approve a contract by and between the City of Herman, Missouri and Corlier Outdoor Advertising Company for a promotional billboard sign.
Any discussion on this?
These are billboards that direct people to our town. It's how we get them here. It's very important. I move Bill 2021-13, first read.
Motion's been made, a second.
I'll second.
Motion made second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
Next is Bill number 2021-14 for first reading, an ordinance to approve a municipal services and material contract by and between the City of Herman, Missouri and Corrective Asphalt Materials LLC to apply rejuvenating and restorative sealer to selected streets.
I have questions. So what streets are these?
It'll come out when the budget is approved. Todd's got a list. I don't know off the top of my head.
Is this one of our, like our new streets?
It has to work on streets that are not very old to work properly, so I would think it's probably on some of our most recent overlays.
Okay.
This works like sealing your driveway or something. It just makes it last longer.
So do we have a priority list of those streets? I've had citizens ask me, well, what streets are next? I couldn't tell them. Do we have a list? Can we maybe post it somewhere?
We've got a list of the next budget year. That's about as far out as we can go.
Any other discussion? Questions? Do I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve bill number 2021-14.
Motion's been made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion's made a second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Does that need to be, no, we're good? Okay.
And next is bill number 2021-15, an ordinance to approve the execution of a bill of sale and note for the sale of a transformer to Moore Gear and Manufacturing Company. And spoke to Jesse a little bit, you all might know more about it than I, but there's this sale of this transformer, he's still working on a price. He thought it would be in the $25,000 ballpark. Why are we acting as a supplier of transformers for Moore Gear? I asked, and he said this is part of really a larger deal where they're going to go ahead and take responsibility for maintenance and repair of the transformer and other equipment that serves their building and take us off the hook for it. So,
Right.
We've had problems with the electrical service in that area since I become an older. And this is going to cure that, hopefully forever. So I move Bill 2021-15 first reading.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
I would suspect we want that second read to get, he's already got it ordered, so.
Right.
You might as well.
Second read, please.
Bill number 2021-15, an ordinance to approve the execution of a bill of sale and note for the sale of a transformer to Moore Gear and Manufacturing Company.
Do I have a motion to approve second read?
I move to approve bill number 2021-15, second read.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Okay, let's move on to old business. Any old business?
I just have an update, Mayor, on the Zach McMichael versus Board of Adjustment lawsuit.
Okay.
I believe it's settled. Mr. McMichael agreed and showed drawings of, and I think has even started putting 2 off-street parking spots diagonal on his front yard. And yeah, that's all I'll say about that.
Okay,
But
very
it should
good.
be resolved. He promised he would file a dismissal of his lawsuit by the end of the week after we have our hearing on Thursday.
Okay, cool. Very good. Thank you. Anybody else? Old business? Any new business?
I have one item, kind of a strange thing happened yesterday when I was talking to my neighbor. I noticed 2 ladies and a few kids over by the old high school across the street from my house, which is nothing new. People like to look at that building. It's pretty cool. But they came over to talk to me about it, asking if I knew any history of the building, and I told them what I knew. I said, "Are you interested in purchasing it?" She goes, "Yeah." And she was telling me what she was wanting to do, and it would have been a commercial use. I said, "Well, you realize you would have to have a zoning change for that building to do that." She said, "No, it's listed as a commercial building." And I said, "No, ma'am, I don't think it is." She goes, "No, I've looked it up online, and it shows it as a commercial deal." And I didn't want to argue with the lady.
Right.
But she said it really wasn't suitable for her purpose, so I sent her down to the Grapevine building on 4th and Market. I thought that might be suitable for her. But do you all know, every zoning map I have shows it as R3, not commercial.
It's R3.
There's a map, should be a map behind there.
Well, okay, I looked on that map all ago, and I assumed it was accurate, but she said something she looked up online, and it's listed as commercial. I've looked, I can't find it, but if that should come up, it isn't, so.
Well, maybe they're advertising it as commercial. Okay, also under new business, we're gonna, Mike, what do you want to, got you listed under new business?
Okay, so my name is Mike Sloan, Herman Worst House, and I'm here to request a permit or discussion on what I might be able to do to have musicians play either inside the patio enclosed or inside the building. So that's my request. I'll back up a little bit. For the last year, we've had COVID hours, which meant we decreased our hours by about 16 hours a week. And here about last week, I guess, we went back to pre-COVID hours, our normal hours, and we expanded upon those hours. And so what we are doing is staying open later on Friday nights till 8 o'clock and Saturday nights till 8 o'clock. And the reason for that is about 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I was I closed at 4 o'clock, and this is the background part. And the store was closed, lights were out, and I was watching the NCAA basketball games on the big screen TV in the store. And enjoying the game and watching on a Saturday, 4 o'clock-ish, how many people were coming up to the doors trying to get in after we had closed. And I counted 77 people in a couple hours. And I knew there would be always a lot of people, but so I thought, you know what, that's money on the sidewalk, and people are desperate to eat, and there's not a lot of places to eat, and sometimes the places that are open, you got a 2-hour wait, 2.5-hour wait maybe. Or else the people just leave town and go eat somewhere else, and that's less tax dollars for the city of Herman, streets, and what else. So in addition to being open later on Friday and Saturday nights, I wanted to add something to it, a form of entertainment. And the reason I'm thinking about this is, I mean, you know, Herman promotes artists, they promote people, or even on the website, I don't know, Visit Herman Highlights, dated April 1st, 2021. Missouri made art you'll be in awe of. And it goes on to say, Herman has talented artists, and this is all true, from painters, sculptors, musicians, and actors. Herman has all of that. And just like on Friday Night Art Walks, when there's artists displayed throughout town at select businesses, it's a draw, it's an attraction. It keeps people in town longer, whether it's by the hour or by the night. That's kind of what you want. So I know we have venues in town where musicians play regularly. My time frame would be for my evening crowd from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. I know there's music going on at different events, wineries, breweries, distilleries. And then you get the late night crowd going to some of the bars. So I don't want to be the afternoon music guy, I don't want to be the late night guy. I want to be the dinner guy with some music and steaks and food. So we've done that a couple of times now, and it's been greatly received. I've had the music inside, and it works. It's usually a 1-piece, 2-piece, 3-piece. Sometimes a 4th piece shows up. It does work inside. It'd be better if it was outside, especially if it's nice weather on the outside. So my request would be to have it on the outside, and if there was inclement weather, I'd bring them in on the inside. But as an example, Saturday night, I was hoping for 40 people to come in. I was hoping for 40. If I had 70 people, I'd be in trouble. And I had 125. So it was great. It was absolutely great. And when you get that many people, you have to keep them satisfied. You know, I bid it off, now what am I going to do? So, you know, that is the form of entertainment, is to keep people happy till their food arrives. And give them a drink. And again, this is a dinner crowd, it's not a bar crowd. By 8 o'clock, the door was shut down and everybody was going home. That's what I see. I also see Herman as an entertainment center, just like we're an Oktoberfest center and German center and wedding center. I see it as an entertainment center. My vision, and it's partly there now, is, you know, music entertainment at Fest Hall or 10 Mill. A few other places in town where folks can walk. And that's really what you want people to do, is walk. Because when they're on the sidewalks, they're spending money. If they're not on the sidewalk, you're not going to make any money. And so if we can get people on the sidewalk, keep them on the sidewalk, have them walk from one end of town to the other, stay at each place for 45 minutes or an hour or whatever and move on, it's going to benefit every business that has those people coming in the doors, and it's going to benefit the town. So my request would be to have some entertainment on the outside patio. And it would not be every weekend, it would just be some weekends.
Question, I think the biggest issue I see is your room out there. I don't know how you could entertain a four-piece grouping and then still have all your people out there.
So like Saturday night, I have indoor seating for about 90, I got 96 chairs on the inside. So Saturday night when it started raining and there was nobody outside, we was carrying chairs, we was carrying tables from the outside patio and setting them up in the store wherever there was a floor space. And I suspect I could do the same thing. Those tables and chairs are movable. You know, I'm okay permitted to have 44 chairs out there, 11, I think it's 44, 11 tables or 12 tables, whatever the picture has. And so those are all movable.
You guys have any discussion, questions for me?
In theory, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, you're not gonna be sure if it's gonna work until you try it.
That is correct.
I mean, he has live music behind him, directly across the street at the Hofgarten has live music occasionally. There's been live music over at the Caboose. There's music over at the festival.
At times.
There's
Yes.
music at the White House Hotel.
It's, it hasn't been an issue with that. Mike's situation is a little more unique because of where he's at, but
I would say the only other concern I would have with it being outside is not so much that the people are participating in eating supper, but we just had this discussion about the walkway out there. People that are stopping on the outside wanting to listen, and then you have a bottleneck like we were talking.
a little more congestion.
That would be the only problem in my eyes that I see, you know, I don't have nothing against the
Well,
music.
that can happen and it will happen. I had a lady Friday night, sat her 3 kids outside on the sidewalk on the outside of the fence. And
Yeah.
I had to go get her, say, ma'am, you can't set your 3 kids here, they gotta go color somewhere else. So I mean, things like that will happen.
Okay, I'm just saying
Yeah.
that's, in my mind, that's the issue that I see would be a problem that you would have to keep policed, you know,
Yeah.
like you say, if you've seen somebody.
But I think I can police that pretty good. I'm usually pretty close to the front door.
As mentioned, I know other establishments do have music, and the ideal we have to work with is our outdoor seating ordinance does prohibit live music and speakers within unless proven. And to go along with what Mayor Bruce had said, that we have had thoughts process about the congestion, not only from pedestrians and the ADA 5-foot walkway, but also I know there's gonna be people slowing down vehicular traffic to hear the good music. I still think that we should probably, you've had other bands there, keep the music indoors, and maybe if you open the doors up, the music will vent out to there to see if anything does arise. That's my concern, is that the ordinance does say no live entertainment and the congestion of pedestrian and vehicular traffic in that particular area, because you will draw a good crowd.
Well, it would be good if traffic slowed down. So that might be a positive thing right there, because when trucks come down the hill from the courthouse, they're ramping up pretty good. And so if there was a way to reduce traffic, I think that'd be awesome, because I hear noises and I see cars and trucks and I'm thinking, what did they hit? Well, they haven't hit nothing, but you're wondering what's happening. And also, this would be the evening hours where, you know, people are wanting to go eat and just sit down and relax and have a meal and a drink and enjoy themselves.
You know, the ordinance states that, but the ordinance also states, you know, and that's why he's here, you know, that we can
Conditional use permit.
give him a permit to do it. So, I mean, that's all up to you people, you know.
I think nothing's been done there yet. That all needs to be done before we consider it. We don't have railings up, we don't have grates fixed there. It's gonna be congested if it's a really good band, so until those changes are made,
The grate, you lost
The
me.
grate there at the corner needs to be done. We talked about putting a railing up to make it safer there. That all needs to be done.
Recommendation.
Well, that-
from
that-
ODOT.
What did I miss here?
That's the city.
Right. So we
That
need to
has
do our
nothing to do,
part.
that has nothing to do with him.
No, but if there are a lot of people and they're sitting outside there, that is why.
But they're sitting within
They'll be
his
sitting
seating
within my
area.
boundaries.
But the congestion,
Well, then there's gonna be congestion from Amtrak and from the caboose,
but they're not gonna stand right in front of
and
your
well, they're
place,
gonna
are
walk
they?
right through. They're all gonna walk through there.
Yeah, so that's why we gotta
And
have
they got the other
it safe.
side of the street. I mean, that's a hot corner with, 10 Mill and behind us, the new Husband Winery. I mean, I hate to say it, good or bad or ugly, but that's kind of an epicenter right there, and
Yep.
I don't think that that's my fault.
The only other comment I got in the letter you got here, to me it's vague,
Well, they, because
because
I
it
didn't know
says
what you
some
wanted.
Saturdays, you have no idea what size the band's gonna be, if it's gonna be one piece, up to 4 pieces.
Because some bands can bring one person, some bands can bring 2 person. So that's a conversation that would be had. So that's why it's vague. I don't want to nail myself to the cross and say it's one band and then the guy brings a buddy with him.
Well, that's
And that's
where
what
I wanna
happens,
be
you know.
at too, is if we give blanket authority, then we could go up to 4 pieces or 5 pieces, or what have you, every Saturday, where if we can narrow down to test weekend, let's see what happens with a one-piece band, if that does not create added pedestrian hazards or
I'm
vehicle.
okay with one, starting
I
out with
actually
one
like
person.
that idea, let's see what happens, you know?
Yeah,
so.
I'm okay with the one person.
Now,
2
I want
person.
your business to thrive, you got a good business.
Well, I'm getting ready to do a second shift, and I'm hiring, 8 more people.
What if we consider giving him a 1-month trial period?
I'm good with that.
That's
I think
4
that's-
weekends.
When are we gonna fix that area though?
We have to talk to Mark, I'm not sure.
City traffic officer.
What the schedule is.
That's not on the
I don't think
immediate
that, yeah, go ahead.
horizon at this point.
I'm not familiar, what,
We met with MoDOT because that intersection and that area is a bit of a safety issue.
where are you
And
gonna put a rail?
in front of Mr. Unkin's property, there would be a railing up, and then off of like if this was his porch, off to the side, it would angle out to keep people from walking on that narrow strip of sidewalk in front of Mr. Unkin's when they're walking past.
So they go up
Where's
over the
house?
ramp instead of
Yeah,
to
so
and
they
from.
go up.
And what
then
about
that-
this, what about the
The
grade?
grate is on the corner of the street. If this is the block, there's a grate here that's 2 pieces that's not safe.
It's a stormwater inlet that needs to be changed to curb style.
But I really don't think that has anything to do with what he's requesting. I don't think that that's gonna add any more to it, but, you all have to decide what you wanna do.
Well, please get that fixed.
I can
And,
see what Susan says, it doesn't necessarily connect it right to Mike, because Mike's outdoor seating right for his building, but if we do have a high volume of traffic impact, and they do get to that situation, and they do get hurt on that drain, then the city is tied into a potential litigation, because we're been made aware of a defaulty drain.
Well, if it's not defaulting, or whatever the word is you use, it's just kind of a trip hazard. It's just an iron grate on the corner that people could get a heel stuck in or something like that. It's been there probably for 50 or 60 years.
It's probably much like the tree roots that grow up in sidewalks all over town. It's there, and I've never seen anybody fall in that area. Doesn't mean they can't, but I've seen thousands, if not millions of people.
Well, the congestion on that corner existed for many, many, many years. I mean, it's not, everything that shows up seems to add a little more congestion to that order. I mean, Herman often draws thousands of people down there. The Tin Mill Steakhouse, the Tin Mill Brewery, the opposite opposing corners of the Hofgarten and the Fest Hall. Congestion is just a problem of this town when you've got people here. It's not just that corner also. I mean, it's a bad corner. I'm not arguing with that point. It's bad for traffic, it's bad for people crossing.
We absolutely.
But it already is. I mean, it's not like, I don't believe, I think it would be a good idea, do a little trial period, see what happens. I mean, I just can't see that that's gonna hurt anything.
That's what I would
We
recommend.
absolutely need more parking, and I know there was some word on taking away parking, and that's just the opposite of what we need to do. We need to be adding parking. City will not make any money if you don't have any parking spaces.
Okay, we understand what he wants to do. Do someone want to
Is that in this part of this, or does
do
this?
it?
I mean, is that right now, or does that come up later in a motion or something?
No,
No, that's.
we can make a motion, if you want to give him a try, maybe even a 2-week trial period, just to see if it's gonna work. I don't care.
Well, May is coming up.
I prefer a month just because.
Well, I'm just saying, you know.
Rain weather, I mean, you just don't know.
You know, give a 30-day, and
I would do,
and try and monitor it and, or have, I hate to dump any more on the police officer, but, you know, let them report back to us or me and say, this ain't working or this is working.
a conditional use permit means there are conditions and that, we can pull it at any time if something.
Well, it's a
goes wrong.
30-day trial.
Yeah, 30, okay. I would make a motion for,
Dave, is that legal to do it that way?
Sure.
I
Okay.
just want to clarify that it's not a traditional conditional use permit. That requires 2 public hearings and advertising.
Okay.
It's a special permit.
a special permit.
Yeah.
Wrong terminology.
It's a modification to his existing outdoor seating permit, is really what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would make a motion for a special trial period, the month of May.
Or 30 days. Are we
You got
gonna-
things lined up for April already, don't you? Tentatively anyhow?
I've got things lined up for this month. I don't have nothing in May, because I was waiting.
So this is April 12th.
So wait a minute, I might have one in May. But nothing I've got is over 30 days out.
Okay. 30 days
From
from
now.
today?
We go from April 12th through May 12th.
That work?
I think
That'd be
so.
a 30-day period.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second for that?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor, aye?
All right.
Any opposed?
Nay.
3 ayes, 1, okay. Ayes.
Mike, if you come across any problems, let us know. Something we can do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just, if there's a problem, let's fix it early and see what we can work with.
And then what I would request is, I mean, I'll try and keep an eye on it, but I'm not sure, I have a calendar in front of me, but Alderman meeting after that period come and kind of give a report on, and, you know,
Well, please visit the site.
Will it just be Saturdays?
Huh?
Just Saturdays?
No, I think Friday and Saturday, I said.
so, anyway,
Okay.
okay, thank you. Okay, is there any other new business?
I do have something to bring up. It goes along with what your introduction is there, addressing the issue we've had with the Facebook posting. Done a lot of soul searching and looking at it. We've had advice and direction from our council. I think that we should look into a motion of censoring in the form of addressing specifically but not limited to the Facebook posting and comments surrounding the death of a person of color and for making inappropriate, lewd, pornographic Twitter messaging. This action is not approved by myself, and I would like that reflected in the records, by the citizens or the voters and businesses of the Herman. It is true, where it came from, I don't know, but we also, my household received a anonymous letter of postings and messages, and I understand it went to a lot of females in the area. Like I said, I do not condone that. I've known David for 30 some odd years, and I don't think his intent was there. But this action would help start the healing process and recovery, because I believe this will be a long felt issue.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Okay. I accept Dave's apology, but I want it placed in written record that I did not approve of it. As a city leader, we have to watch our behavior and our judgment, and that this is not the face of Herman, Missouri. Censoring is a formal reprimand, and I think the city should state, it should be publicly stated and written that Herman is not racist, the city of Herman is not racist, and does not approve of those types of activities. And also, if the Tourism Commission signs a social media contract, I feel that we all should sign one too.
I agree.
Do you have any comments, sir? I know you're new on it.
Welcome to the Board of
Yeah.
Aldermen.
So you, I'm not sure how to proceed with the censoring, that's all new to me, so.
What my understanding of censoring, and Mr. Polita sent it out, this gives us, Mr. Alderman Ferber stays alderman. He does not lose his position. He's been good for her. He's goofed up. But this gives the city of Herman, its residents, a form of written notice that we don't condone that, and Herman does not stand for that poor judgment. And as Mr. Polite pointed out, it's just for the record. Chamber could use it, businesses could use it, we can put it on our site. It kind of gives the general public, not only restricted to Herman, but outside areas, a statement that the city did not condone that, and giving some sort of reprimand to David, which he has apologized for, and we maybe can start moving forward.
Mayor, I think one decision the board could make would be to formalize this censorship in the form of a resolution, a written resolution like we often have, or whether these statements that are recorded and on TV and in the minutes is sufficient. And then this decision number 2 would be if you want to go the resolution route, maybe at the end of the meeting, when you're finished with the agenda, you can adjourn the meeting for 10 minutes, and I think Tricia and I could go back to her machine and type up a resolution with some of the words that were said here, and come back and you call the meeting back to order and consider whether you want to pass it. Or you could do it next meeting, I reckon, if you prefer to do it that way.
I think if that's the way you all feel to do it, that's probably the proper way, because it's on everybody's mind, and to try and put this thing to rest, you know, I mean, you know.
There's one thing I'd like to add, if we do this, I mean, it takes the bring power here, but we do come a resolution, is my understanding, it does have to have a vote, majority vote of the Board of Aldermen. When it comes to that, I would ask that Alderman Ferber recuses himself due to the fact that there is a personal gain, that his vote could sway the final verdict of this governmental body. And since he's solely named within that resolution, there is a personal gain, and that does represent a conflict of interest.
Question mark?
Question mark.
Having researched quite a bit of this material in the last week or so, if, for example, that there are no rules or no laws on how you vote in resolutions for censorship, that's very, very, very rare. There are rules that pertain to impeachment, and impeachment hearings are sort of like what we've seen in the last couple of years. This board would vote to impeach, which all that means is the individual comes back to this board again for an actual hearing with witnesses, testimony, and so on and so on. The statute is very clear that the alderman who is the subject of those proceedings does get to vote. And so I don't see a legal reason why Mr. Ferber would need to recuse from a censorship vote.
I will not recuse myself from the vote, but I will tell you right now, I am sorry for what happened.
I know.
And if you have a censorship vote, I will vote aye.
Well, the
I
reason.
don't know what else I can do to show how sorry I am for this.
The reason I said his vote can sway that, in the short 2 years I've been an alderman, I know David had recused himself when it came for a vote of a yard sale for his ex-wife because of family relationship. I know the previous alderman, Brian Chorley, recused himself when it came to a vote of a contract for photographs that his family member had submitted. And reading all that I could on legal dictionaries and Googles, anytime there is a personal gain or interest, they should be recused. And with your name being in there, that can't get much more personal.
Well, according to the lawyer, it's not necessary, and I already said I'll vote yes.
I'm good with that.
There you go.
What more do you want?
What?
Yes, I think that's, I admit I was wrong. I was contrite as a person, I won't fight.
Okay, that's agreeable. Then do you want to proceed with the resolution? Is that what you want?
That per our legal advice.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay.
I'll let, you want to do it tonight?
Do you all
I mean,
want to get
this-
it done? So it's done?
Okay.
I think the quicker we address this, the
No, that's-
quicker the healing may begin.
Get it done.
That's fine.
And it won't take long. And-
Okay.
and you can
That's
all
what we'll
take a
do
minute
after
to
we get
read it
done with our regular
first, and-
business. We will adjourn and re-adjourn or reconvene.
We might as well have 3 meetings tonight.
Okay. So that's what we will do. Is there any other new business? Okay, let's
Who's
move.
gonna ask a question? Can I?
No. No. Pertaining to this?
Yes.
No, they've already.
No, it wasn't about-
They've already made a decision. Let's let us move on. Okay, motions. We have a motion to approve the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion's made and second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Invoices for payment,
Move we pay the bill.
I'll second.
made and second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. We have a conditional use permit for the Loose Caboose, Beth Hostler, and outdoor liquor consumption.
Move to approve.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. The employee health renewal,
Move to approve.
I'll second.
motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Appoint Chad Walton to the Tourism Commission.
I move to approve.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
So carried. Approved bid from Fletcher Reinhardt for the electrical supplies.
Are these supplies for the Mortier project or?
No, this is just supplies for their warehouse, the daily materials that they use.
Inventory.
Inventory. Any other questions?
Move to approve.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
So carried. Picnic liquor license for the Herman J. C's and My Fest Beer Garden, Upper Park, May 14th, 15th, 16th of 2021. Have a motion to approve
Move
that.
to approve. Well, the My Fest was canceled, but we keep approving stuff for the My Fest.
Well, they have, there's been a group of people that are trying to, it's not gonna be the My Fest, but it's gonna be the My Fest.
That's cool. Move to approve.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
All in
That's
favor,
my
aye.
birthday party weekend.
Aye.
So carried. Caterers permit for Hermanoff Incorporated 10 Mill Brewery
I will abstain.
for My Fest event at the amphitheater, also on May 15th and 16th.
Make motion approved.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Festival event application for the Missouri Trading Post and the Blank Canvas Gallery and Studio for the Art and Crafts booths in the parking lot behind their buildings at 409, for Keen Market, May 15th and 16th.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
So carried. Okay, then I need a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Just for a few
Second.
minutes.
Second.
Or recess, there you go.
Recess.
Excuse me,
I missed the vote.
on the last one, got it?
Got it.
Okay, motion to recess, excuse me, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. We're gonna take a recess, if everybody wants to stick around, they can, if not, we thank you for coming.
Oh, they sure did. Look at you, look at that,
Did I miss something?
Yeah, we skipped the left and board of Alder, as the board.
Well, we got to come back.
That's pretty important, yeah, we can do it when we come back. Initial everywhere there's tab, that's the invoices.
Great.
Dave and I have to go on that resolution.
I did.
I always start when
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you, Rick. We're still on camera. Yes.
You'll find out when we get into the regular
Video's still on.
routine, we kind of already know, so. You did good.
The seconding. I'll get it.
sign, what are the tabs and initials?
Yeah, all you have to do is sign it, all you have is to initial it.
You as well.
That's how you do it. Yeah, if anything that comes up that has to do with. It's a simple thing, no explanation needed.
Okay.
I can't.
Thank you for your comments.
Are we on? Change the water. And I'm gonna let them. Oh, shit. Nick's arm.
Where are you?
Oh. Two stents in a heart. What are you on?
Okay.
It's a generic plasma.
When's your last day?
And I'm taking Metoprolol,
This month?
I take 7.5 pills a morning.
Not counting.
Okay. Thank you.
That's a big one.
His cardiac doctor had given him samples, so then I took that over again. I went through the samples, and his son took them up there, they did, and then he tried to well,
I'm just trying to get a word in.
this time they got it all, but something happened, they must have all
Can I leave the room?
we want to look at nutrition.
Sample. It didn't have it this time, because like I said, the price was out.
Some of those prices are ridiculous. I'm on Jardians from diabetes to them. Without insurance, 30 days supply of $1,900. I have to still pay them insulin. I agree. They're gonna get you one way or the other. I went through, I say, I take 2 weeks off that's on insulin. I filled out paperwork, during they pay my all I have to do is call up there on Friday. They ship it out. All refrigerated. The box, the shocks, it's been shot. Where? Got 3-inch insulation around the wall.
I love my wife.
But by turning the stuff, this one's nice, it's not bad. I turned it, showed me.
This one's that you actually got so much on, but when you turn loose, the needle shoot.
They'll find it, they'll let you know if I'm upstairs.
This thing was as brown as I had.
She's taking that from me.
Say hey,
Well, my, part of things, 95 across
For some reason I was thinking it was April, I said, no, that would be interesting.
Yeah, we have our house on
I've been. Put the chair, put it on.
Would you get
Or just bring it down.
If you put it down my level, maybe that's a good one.
I need about a 15-foot piece of carpet.
It's too bad I already got one.
I know. It's the thing is, I'll have to put it out there that I want to see if somebody else is sitting There's anything else that you want, if you take and then we turn them back in and they fix it back.
Can't imagine what's wrong.
Yeah, I asked.
We'll find
I
out.
went over to Tricia and I was like,
No. I keep one for each committee I'm on, I keep one for, I keep one for.
start thinking I need to get some.
You do. Mine's I have notebooks, but I try and use them. Hopefully I don't have to use more than one.
Smart move on it, we have
I look and you can't remember.
caterer permit.
Because the tourism commission, that is
I didn't see that. Yeah. Did we see that last year? On the farm like that? I'm gonna add that to my file.
After every lunch.
I like the percentages on Ward 2, that was 58 and 42. That's better than 1.
I just can't believe so few people want out of order. It's just so hard.
Even Ward 1, almost 240.
Oh, yeah.
We got 863 voters.
Yeah, that's first. No, we're just talking about everyday stuff.
And granted, this is an off year, and all we had was that K6, that was 2 years ago when we ran against Brian. I had 189 myself, and Brian had 102, so it's almost 290 some odd voters. So we got 170.
And the weather was great.
And that's 20%.
Hey Jim, can I see that?
No.
The vote.
Did you get one in?
Not that I saw, I didn't.
Rick brought it in.
Yeah, I didn't recognize it.
I'm gonna call him.
That's where we accepted the vote.
Just curious what it was.
That's what Dave and I talked about, just wanting them to turn out. We're on camera. Has he got audio on too? Is the audio on also? I'm sure Tricia makes copies. He didn't give one.
No, I don't need it. I was just curious.
I didn't get your folder.
No, I don't.
It's a keepsake.
It was neat to watch all the votes come in up at the courthouse. That was good. I don't really need it.
They're very efficient up there with their,
Yeah, it was cool.
Lisa does a good job up
they won't
there.
write anything up till they're 100% sure.
It really wasn't bad, it's just 9 o'clock. You did good, Chris. You kept us on track.
I'd like to get them done, and that's my model.
I hit the desk and I heard bells. Did somebody else hear that?
I found an easy way to mute mine here not too long, it worked pretty well.
There it goes. Did you hear that?
What? No, I did.
Thank you.
Just kidding.
No, I heard it, and then somebody forgets to mute their phone, and you'll hear dogs barking, birds singing, and everything else.
Yeah, and then you look, like if you're in somebody's house and you don't know if they have a dog or not, you hear one bark.
My brother-in-law has a mule. When somebody calls, that's the ringtone.
They got ringtones in there, they're loons, wolves, goats, cuckoos.
You tell me you don't have a turkey gobbler?
Yeah, but that's for one of my boys.
One of the guys that worked for me down in Tennessee, he made a recording, he said, hey, your phone's ringing, hey, your phone's ringing. So when his phone rang, that's what played.
You don't want to have that turkey ringtone on your phone during turkey season, if they check it, they kind of frown.
That might be the last thing you hear.
Well, they don't, just, they can be used as an electronic.
We went out Sunday. Yeah. I think it was Sunday. Yeah, we going south out to where Tapmeyer moved, where Spring Creek comes out on 19, where Judy Ward had that big old turkey floating across the highway with a gobbler. Another 3 foot, it was in it. Well, you type fast.
You can thank our,
I'd still be using the Columbus method, circle and land.
Well, everybody read it, and it's your resolution, so whatever words you want to add or delete or amend or just say so.
that's a draft until it's passed.
Okay, let's call the meeting back to order. Everybody, please read the resolution that's been presented to you.
I will move to approve the resolution.
Motion's been made to approve the resolution. Do I have
You
a-
want me to read the heading like we typically do?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
A resolution to censure Alderman David Farber.
Okay, everybody's had an opportunity to read the resolution.
And like I said, there's no magic in these words. You mark it up, but it's your opportunity.
Any discussion? You want to make the
I move to approve the resolution.
motion's been made to approve the resolution by Mr. Herbert. Second by Susan.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. One other thing that, excuse me, I missed on the agenda is a motion to elect a president of the Board of Aldermen for the next term.
I'll make a motion to nominate Susan Linger, be president.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, right?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Is there any other business that needs to be presented? If not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Motion adjourned. Thank you all for coming and being patient with us. Did I miss something? What else did I miss?
Were these all under one, all these motions?
What are the,
I don't know, I'm looking here to see. When you approved all these things?
Yeah, they're all one.
All in one,
Yeah.
thank you, good, okay.
It's okay.
Because
We
I
did
didn't
good.
hear anything.
We done gave her books back.
yeah.
I'm just the one that
I know.
I'll have a copy of that.